What if I told you that the more you try to control, the more control you actually lose? That the secret to power lies not in grasping tighter, but in letting go. This is not just philosophy. It's reality. It's a paradox, a truth so strange, yet so powerful that it can change the way you live, think, and lead forever. This is the paradox of power. From the moment we're born, we're taught to hold on to our toys, to people, to goals, to beliefs. We're raised in a world that glorifies possession, attachment, and dominance. The more you have, the more control you seem to gain. But here's the twist. The tighter you grip the rope, the more it burns your hands. We think we are in control, but we are prisoners of our own expectations. Take a moment and reflect. Have you ever tried to control someone you loved, only to lose them? Have you obsessed over your future, only to be crushed by anxiety? Have you clung to success so desperately that you lost your peace? The illusion of control is seductive. It whispers, hold on tighter, and you'll be safe. But life is not designed to be tamed. It flows like a river, and the more you resist it, the more you drown. Across civilizations, the greatest minds discovered something profound. Letting go is not weakness, it is wisdom. In Taoism, Lao Tzu said, by letting it go, it all gets done. In Stoicism, Epictetus taught, some things are up to us, and some things are not. The Buddha reached enlightenment not by gaining, but by releasing all desires. What do these teachings have in common? They point to a deep truth. Control begins when attachment ends. Attachment to outcomes leads to fear. Fear leads to manipulation. Manipulation leads to suffering. But the one who lets go becomes untouchable, not because they have nothing to lose, but because they no longer need to win. Let's get psychological. Control is rooted in fear. Fear of loss, fear of rejection, fear of uncertainty. So the mind constructs illusions. If I control them, they won't leave. If I control this situation, I won't fail. If I control my emotions, I won't get hurt. But here's the problem. The more you control, the more you suffer. Because control is never absolute. People change. Plans fail. Life surprises. Psychologists call this the control paradox. The more control you seek, the more anxiety you experience. You become a slave to your own plans. But now imagine this. What if you walked into chaos and remained calm? What if you loved deeply, but let go when the time came? What if you chased excellence, but weren't broken by failure? This is detachment. And detachment is not indifference. It's clarity. It's power. Let me ask you, who is more powerful? The one shouting commands, desperate to control, or the one sitting silently, unshaken by the storm? Power doesn't scream. It whispers. It doesn't cling. It attracts. The person who has nothing to prove becomes magnetic. The person who lets go of needing control becomes a leader. Because real power is rooted in presence, not possession. It comes from being, not from owning. Think of the samurai, calm, focused, unattached. They trained for death not because they wanted it, but because once you stop fearing loss, you become invincible. Letting go doesn't happen overnight. It happens in layers. First, let go of expectations. Stop expecting people to act a certain way. They won't. They never will. Expectations breed resentment. Next, let go of the need to control outcomes. You can prepare, you can act, but you cannot force the result. Let it go. Then, let go of the past. You are not your trauma. You are not your mistakes. The past is a place of reference, not residence. Finally, let go of the ego, the voice that says, I deserve this. I must have this. I can't fail. Silence it. Only then will you hear your true self. Let's bring this into real life. You're in a relationship. You love them, but you don't own them. You support them, but you don't control them. That's love without attachment. You're building a business. You're passionate, but you don't obsess. You detach from the fear of failure. You do your best and let the results unfold. That's discipline without control. You're dealing with haters, betrayal, rejection. And instead of reacting, you smile. You observe. You don't chase justice. You let go. That's power without ego. Some think letting go is giving up. No, giving up is defeat. Letting go is freedom. Some think letting go means apathy. No, apathy is the absence of feeling. Letting go is the presence of awareness. Some say, if I let go, people will take advantage of me. No, when you let go, you stop being reactive. You become strategic, detached, intelligent. The world cannot hurt a person who is free from its grip. To let go is to be a warrior, a mental warrior, to walk alone when needed, to act without seeking validation, to care without clinging, to love without chains. This is not easy. It will feel like death, because you are killing your old self, the self that needed everything, the self that feared everything. But on the other side is freedom. On the other side is power. 1. Practice silence. Spend 10 minutes a day in complete silence. No phone, no distraction. Watch how loud your mind becomes. Then let it pass. 2. Meditate on impermanence. Everything ends. That's not sad. That's real. Appreciate more. Cling less. 3. Observe your reactions. When you feel triggered, don't react. Ask, what am I holding on to? Most pain is attachment, not reality. 4. Choose minimalism. Declutter your space. Let go of items you don't need. You'll feel the difference in your soul. 5. Journal your fears. Write what you're afraid to lose. Then ask, what if I let it go? Face the fear. Watch it shrink. Letting go is not an act of surrender. It is the beginning of mastery. The strongest people are not those who hold on to everything. They are the ones who walk away from what no longer serves them. Control is not about dominating others. It's about mastering yourself, your reactions, your emotions, your desires, and the paradox. Once you let go of needing control, you gain something far greater: peace, presence, power. You were never meant to control the ocean. You were meant to learn how to sail. Let go, not to lose everything, but to gain yourself. If this message resonated with you, share it with someone who's struggling to hold on. And remember, in letting go, you rise.